Now, Virginia, you're gonna fucking make me fall.
Alrighty guys, I know this one seems kind of I don't know what you want to call a video, but it's going to be about being self-aware and being situational awareness, okay? So my whole point with this is me walking out of my home to demonstrate what I do when I walk out and I come out to my car. Now, this doesn't stop when I make it to this point or when I put everything in the car that I have in my hands. Normally, it's me and my wife, or me and my wife, my son, and we both, all of us, normally have something in our hands, just like any other family. Y'all are all going out, and you got shit in your hands. You're trying to get in the car and take off. You know, we even have a dog at the beginning of the video. She hollered at her dog. So, once you get your hands unfilled with everything you carry, and then you're in the car, you still need to do a look around. Okay, whether it be underneath, whether it just look around real quick. Okay, my neighbor over here loves it because we do this quite often, not only to our home but her home as well. When we come outside and we're just taking the dogs out or we're hanging out outside with the kids, we do a walk around the house. Okay, now that's to make sure that nothing's been disturbed, and it's to keep an eye on our neighbor's place. It's just the neighborly thing to do nonetheless. So when you saw me come out of my home and I stopped before I made it down the steps, I did a look around. As far as I can see, I looked around. Now that's to see what is around me, first of all. Second of all, is there any threat? Okay. Thirdly, is there an animal or anything that maybe I need to hightail it back into my home that doesn't require an action of death? Okay. It gives me that brief period to make up my mind whether to fight or flight. Okay. Obviously, if you feel comfortable with your surroundings, you're going to walk on out the door. Now, as you approach your vehicle, a lot of people don't do this anymore. I was being taught this when I was learning how to drive. Okay. I believe I've heard my wife mention it, but I think that's just because of how she was taught to drive and who taught her as well. So, what I mean by that is, I was taught that you come up and do a walk around your entire car. Now, I didn't do that in this particular video. I just came up, driver door, that's where I stopped. But the point is when you approach and you come up to your car, is to look underneath of it. Okay? That's what they're telling you to do, to see if there's anybody hiding underneath your vehicle to come out and grab your leg, cut your Achilles tendon, any of those things to get you away from your vehicle so they can either take control of you, your family, or your car. Now, I'm not just strictly talking about carjackings, okay? It happens. We'll get to that in another video, just not today. So as you approach, you look underneath your vehicle. If you want to do a walk around, that's a preventative maintenance walk around. That's to look at your tires, that's to look at your windows, that's stuff to do strictly with your vehicle, okay? When I approach it, I'm doing all of those things, but I'm also looking for somebody underneath. Is there any movement? Is there an animal? Is there a person? Any of those things underneath my vehicle as I approach. Once I get in, just like any other driver should, set your seat, set your mirrors, get ready to drive, be responsible. Get in, you back down your driveway, you take off, you go to the grocery store or wherever it is that you're going, that you're having to leave your vehicle. I do the same thing when I get out of the vehicle. You can ask my wife, I say that, but you can ask my wife. When I get out of the vehicle, whether I'm driving, whether I'm passengering, whether I'm doing any of those things, I get out and I stop and I take a look around each and every time. It does the same thing it does here at my home as I'm getting in to leave my home.
It's a very rare occasion that you don't.
It is. It's a very rare occasion that I don't. Normally on my off days.
Which is usually the days that we're driving home and he's got a potty and he just gets out and I do his routine.
Right. So we have a teamwork system that she and I utilize, and that's on a different channel as far as how me and the wife do our marriage. But anyway, I do this when I get out and into any public area. As just for an example, when I walk into Walmart, I do the same thing. I do a quick scan as soon as I enter the threshold. Okay, and then I'm doing this the whole way through the store. I come out, I do the same thing as I leave the store, whether it's Walmart, it's a convenience store, a library, hospital. I do this everywhere. Now, y'all may say, "Oh, that's paranoia. You're being paranoid. Somebody's out to get you." No, I mean, I guess who you are and asking the question and situation. I guess. Okay. I don't consider it paranoia. I consider it being protective over myself and my family, and that's first and foremost. Secondly, being protecting over myself because I carry a firearm. Okay, so that's the biggest thing. But I do this everywhere. All right, it's not because I sit with my back towards a wall in a restaurant and where I can see everybody. It's all the same concept, but now I'm being mobile when I do it. There's a difference when you're sitting and kind of you're comfortable, your guard comes down a little bit, sitting in a restaurant, eating with your family, your guard comes down just a little bit. Not very much, but a little bit. Mine does it. I've got many friends that do it. I've watched them do it. I've watched the relief come over their face as they sit down and they feel comfortable once they've scanned the area and did their routine. It has nothing to do with being paranoid. It is making sure that I and my family are absolutely safe first and foremost. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with paranoia. If you want to classify it as paranoia, you know what? You do you. I'm not going to sit here and judge you on your definitions and the use of your words, okay? Because obviously, one, I'm not politically correct, and two, there's too much shit nowadays to have to keep up with, and I'm not up for that. So if you want to be politically correct, go on about your business. Do what you got to do. If you want to leave comments and say I'm wrong or whatever, that's your objective. That's your right. It's whatever. But I don't believe it's being paranoid. I believe it's doing exactly what I'm supposed to do when you get married, when you have children, when you have a home, and even if none of those things exist. For example, you're single, you got a cat or a dog or a bird or a fish, you're going to do the same thing. If you're homeless, you do the same thing. It is human nature to make sure that you are okay and in a comfortable area before you let your guard down. Unfortunately, for some of us, we can't do that all the way. Okay? It's just the way it is. But that's the reason why I do what I do. That's the reason why I try to harp so much on being situational aware. It only takes a brief few seconds. Stop. Just look around. You don't have to look like you're looking for something specific. Just walk out your door, smell the roses, drink your coffee. Normally what I have in my hands is a cup of coffee and a cigarette. So my hands are full as I approach my vehicle. Okay? I square myself away, I unlock my car, and I get in. But I'm still scanning everything around me to make sure that my wife's okay, my son is okay, my dog's okay, I'm okay, my cat's okay, the neighbor's cats and dogs are okay. All of those things are okay. Once I feel comfortable, I go on about my business. It only takes just a few seconds. It takes a few seconds to pick up and put a needle in your arm. It takes a few seconds to pick up and put a meth pipe to your lips, okay? That same brief amount of time to do either one of those things, or take a sip of beer, or whatever bad habit you have, that few seconds to make that choice, it's the same thing. You just got to train yourself. My wife has picked up on a lot of those habits, and I'm very thankful that she has. Whether she did them before me, before she and I got married and got together, or not, she's picked up on these things, and she does it too. Okay, whether it's instinctively because of her past, or it's because, hey, she married a responsible man that solely has the only objective in his life is to love her till death do us part and to make sure she's safe. So I'm glad she's picked up on those things. That way I know personally that I don't have to go into every store with her. I don't have to get out of the car with her. I know she's safe. I know she's being watchful. I know she's not being always looking down on her phone and not paying attention to what could be around her. Okay? So this goes for men, it goes for women. We're trying to teach our son this at this very present moment. That is a challenge. It's harder to get an 11-year-old boy that the only thing he wants to think about is video games, be self-aware. You know, hey, pick up your cup, pick up your plate, pick up your clothes, pick up your damn room. You know the parenting routine. And we all do it. Some of us keep that habit like I did, being self-aware. Some of us don't. So, that's just what I wanted to show you today, real quick. As I leave the house or whatever the case may be. When I'm in public, it is to solely be situational aware. That way I know my family's safe, I'm safe, and it gives me just that couple of seconds. If I have that chance to spot something out that isn't right, that maybe I can respond faster than the bad guy or the situation at hand. Okay? So, guys, once again, like, subscribe, share. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.